Welcome to my video. This is my Hope Caliper C2 number 3, really old and dated now. You can see there, I took the piston out, took the seal out. Simply with the seal, you just get one of these little hook and you just prise it out there, just comes out, and then you give this a good clean. Then this hasn't been apart for 15 years. I've had the bike, funny enough, the bike was when I was 15, 16, still in school. State of that. I'm struggling to get this side out. Been using the air compressor. I'm just gonna have to keep working in and out, in and out. It's gonna be a bit of fun. I'll get there in the end, like I did this side, and I have to put it together actually and just force it out by bleeding it again and somehow hold that in. But yeah, that's the bike I had. Let's see, it's the Hope hub I had, and the disc I fitted when I was a kid. Loved that bike, I did. I actually sold it 10 years ago, and then about a year ago I saw it for sale, so I had to buy it back. It's my old bike and it hasn't been, he changed the front forks to more modern forks. They're still old though. Fox gas, air compressed, little pump. Got a little valve here and you pump it up. But yeah, she's an old one. It's about 20 odd years old now, this bike. Just put new tyres on it. So yeah, just slowly doing it up. It needs, I've got a new headstock for it, so I'm going to be getting that put in. Don't know if I have enough time tonight, because I'm going to be patting about with this. Yeah, I can stay at that. Sorry for the flash. I've got LED lights in this garage and they flash on camera. But yeah, that's the piston. Yeah, so I'm going to clean all this up, and then in a bit I'll do removing that and show you guys how I do it. Because I've looked over YouTube, looked over Google, nowhere tells you how to do it, and it's, you know, it's a bit of fun getting them out. It's not like motorbikes and cars. They flew out, they did. These being so small and so old. Yeah. Okay, so the compressor didn't work on this side, so I reassembled my C2 Hope Caliper back together. Before that I put the piston back in, cleaned all this side, put the piston back on this side, so now this side's working fine. So the reason why I put it back together is I bled it all back up again. I held this piston in with a circular plier. You might want to put a little bit of rubber or something on the back of this side so you don't damage your caliper. I'm just showing this as demonstration purpose. Hold that piston that side, so that, because that side's going to now move freely, easier and quicker, so your pressure's going to go more this side than it is that side, because this side was seized. So this is the reason why you need to hold this new side in. So hold that side in, and then just pumped the lever, and then she eventually popped out at last. So now what I have to do now is take it all apart again and clean this side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then we'll see in a sec. Okay, so I've taken it off the bike. I've drained a little bit of the fluid out. Let's see what it's like inside this piston. They got magnetics on, so they stick on to the pad. Well, there you go. Look at that. There's a good clean. The other side, this side's actually not that bad, apart from discolouring. The other side had gunk and water in there. So you just get your little hook here now. Being careful you don't break the rubber. But I've got new rubbers anyway, so it's not a big deal. Just prise that out there. These rubbers do go in one way. The back edge is bigger, and what happens is, the reason why that is when the piston pushes out, the rubber actually retracts it back in about a little tiny bit, not even half a mil, to release the pressure off the disc. That's why there can be a bit of a bugger getting out. So either keep note of how this comes off and put it to one side and clean it, keep it that way, and then when you reassemble, put it back in, because you can reuse these rubbers. I just choose to put new rubbers back on. Again, this rubber here, make sure you don't lose out one if you haven't got new rubbers. And now you can just strip it all down. What I tend to do is then get a little tub, get your standard parts brake cleaner, mind your eyes, put some goggles on, would be a good idea, and just give it a good old clean in there. Once you've done that, you can leave it to soak if you want to. You just get your toothbrush or something. Okay, so the battery went then, so that was cut short. So as I was saying, toothbrush, brake cleaner inside there. I've actually carried on while the battery was charging, so when you just get that in there like that and it's time consuming but therapeutic at the same time, in my opinion. Yeah, you just gotta keep. Eventually, it comes up like new. There's a little couple of stains sometimes you can't get out. Yeah. Now for the rubber, I like to just give it a little scratch with your fingernail. Like so. Get all sides. Like that. Don't use anything sort of sharp on it or anything like that, just because you'll damage it. But that's how you clean them. I'm going to fit new ones. Yeah, so that's that. Another one I like to do as well before you put it all back together is just clean up the bolts, as I always do if everything else I do on my videos. I just, not too tight, just enough to just grip it if you don't want to damage the threads. Get yourself some auto sole. Every time, I know I should be always keep the lid on, but it catches me out and it squirts out and it just pops out everywhere. As you get yourself a little bit of this, bring your little bit of cloth like that. Oh, turn the hammer off. Do that, that's it. I mean, you could put new bolts in, but you can just see the difference there. It just looks a lot cleaner, a little bit new. So just looks better on the when you put it all back together. So I'm going to go ahead and get this ready now. What I'd like to do before you assemble it is, if you've got access to an airline, just to get that blade fluid out of there, like so. Get it all nice and dry. Make sure you get the back of these pistons. See how that all came out of there then. Once you've done all that, I'll do all this now, clean it all up, get it blown out. Sorry about that last bit then, I didn't charge the battery quite enough. So at this stage now, I blew it all out. If you haven't got an airline to blow it out, you can get, I haven't got one, but you can get air in a can, so you can blow it out there, or using your mouth. But it's better if you can get an airline, just to make sure all the dust is out, make sure it's all dry. Now I've got my rubber now, so make sure that the thicker side at the back. So you just simply can be a little bit tricky, these little things, but they've only got to be done twice. Once you've got your rubber in, just to double check, is you get your finger and you can slide it in and you can feel like a ridge on the rubber, and that ridge is here. So it should be smooth, your finger sliding in. You can see that, how it drops in, and now it can't come out. A bit of stuff in there. So it can slide in nicely, but it can't. And what happens then is, when the piston's in, the piston is forced out by the hydronic, but then it's dragged back in, almost like a vacuum sort of thing. It's dragged back in, back away, your pad away from your disc. So it's really important that you get the rubber the right way, like that. See that? I could just tell by the feel of the rubber and looking at it. Once you strip these down, you can see it. If you've got a good eye, you can see it. So just a little bit of dust there onto my nail. So once you've done that, you've got your rubber in. I don't like to use the grease you get with your rubbers. Bit of brake fluid. Put it in the lid. Drop your piston in, like that, like lubrication, and then just slides in nicely, like so. And that's it. I like to then you can never get it down all the way in by your hand. So what I like to do now is just get a little protection on the front, get your pad, and just get a little G-clamp, like so, and then D-clamp, and then just push it home, like that. Not too much fuss on it, pressure. And she's back in her own. Could do a bit more actually, sorry, hold on. You get these, there's not much money these, you can pick them up from B&Q, Whole Foods, eBay. That's as much as it's going to go in. Yeah, give it a little wipe down. In this side. Don't worry too much about this this here surface, because it's a magnetic, and it will go a little bit sort of, just get a little blade and just any excess just chop it off, because it doesn't like the brake cleaner too much. It goes a little bit gooey. So just get your blade, being careful with your fingers, and then just like so, like that. Once you've done that, I like to just give it another airline blow. Look how easy that comes out now. Oh, there we go. That's what we like to see. The piston going in and out nice and easy. And make sure there's no dust on this seal. Assembles. Let's hold that now there. Get your little nuts, bolts. You don't need to go over tight with them really with these. They're not like motorbike ones or cars. But if you wanted to, you can get in a vise or reconnect it back to the bike and the fork, and you can just torque them up then. But that's it, yeah. There we go. Now my new pads haven't arrived yet, so I'm not going to bother bleeding them up. I'll fit it to the bike, but I'm not going to bother bleeding it up yet. But when I do, I'll carry on this video throughout. God, you wouldn't think that was 20 years old, would you? Look at that. First time they've been apart, actually, I think. And there we go. Super duper. Yeah, so I will, as soon as they arrive, I'll carry on this video. Okay, so decided to strip down the Mastercylinder. I've ordered the Mastercylinder building kit. I've took the top off, the adjuster off, and then I took the little cap off the bottom of the adjuster. You have to bear with me now, I'm not used to push bikes anymore. It's been many years since I've done this. I'm used to motorbikes now. A little C-clip in there. So just I had to grind down my little tool, because it's, again, for cars and motorbikes. And you just slide out this little piston. A little bit of gunk in there. Looks more like grease from the rebuild from last time. Again, if you're going to keep these rubbers, try to be careful to make note of which way it goes round. And then what you then do is get all your rubbers out the way if you're going to keep them. If you don't want to contaminate them with your brake cleaner. Clean it all out. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is going to carry on doing this, a little brush and stuff, and then I'll get back to when I'm reassembling it all. I have ordered ordered new rubber kit for this. I think it was about £4 off eBay. This little kit you get. I didn't get this little plunge down, the dust seal, so I'm going to have to try and get that ordered. Didn't come with the kit, but I thought it would have, but it didn't. I think this is meant to be it, but it doesn't look nothing like it. I don't think that's going to work somehow. No. Okay, see you in a sec. Okay, so I've cleaned them all up, got the airline, blew all the parts out. Again, if you haven't got access to the line, you can buy a tin of it. I think you can get it from Whole Foods. Compressed air in a little can like an aerosol, or you can just blow it. So yeah, put all the stuff in as they need to go. I did notice this little kit I've got, it's slightly different, so I'm not going to use it. They gave me 2 of these plungers, but they don't look the same, so I'm guessing it was for something else. Yeah, so just put this back on here, like so. And a little spring just twists on like so, and then you've got your adjuster. There we go, and that just screws on in there. Left hand thread. Make sure the rubber's going in nicely, there we go. Yeah, so let's see if I can do this quickly. If I can't, I'll have to pause it again. Got it straight in. I always just like to just give it a twist, a little turn, just to make sure it's right, it's in there. There we go. And then this just sits just in there like that. And then your lever, when it's back together, goes in like that as you nut and bolt through there, and then it just sits like that. I do believe I've got the wrong kit because the whole thing looks different and that doesn't look like it's going to fit in there. So I'll be, for a minute I'll reuse this old, it's got cracks on it and stuff, but it'll work for a minute. It's just so I can bleed the system. That sits up there like that. This just screws on. And then your pipe just screws on like that. Got your copper washer there, make sure you don't lose that when you take it apart. Yeah, so I'm gonna reassemble all this now, put it all back together, and then in the last bit of the video I'll do the bleeding process. Thank you. Okay, so I've put it all together. Fill up your master cylinder. what I normally do with motorbikes is I let gravity do its work first. See if it happens in this one. So I've loosened the nipple and then tighten it when you take the plunge out. There we go, it's going down now. Tighten it up. And open it, pull the lever, and then before you let the lever back out, you tighten up the nipple. So loosen the nipple, and then tighten it before you let it out. Always being careful to make sure you don't run out. Pull lever, and before you let it out, tighten up the nipple. I have got a little thing you can use as a off the airline, but I thought I'd show you this like this. It's just as good. I've got some fluid coming through now. Be a good idea now to rather than make a mess. Always keep an eye on the level, because if you let it go low, it'll pump air in the system, and you're just going to keep trying to get air out all day. I could have done with a smaller little hose really. It's not going to be able to. It's not going to fill it up to know when the oxygen, all the air's out. You can see how quickly that goes down and catch you out. If you haven't got a hose, it can get messy. You can do it without the hose, but make sure you don't get on your rims or especially your discs and your pads, and again your hands as well. And there is a side for which these go on. If you look inside this one, you can see like a little rubber where this bolt, this nut pushes against, and this one has a bed, so it's like this on the other side, pointed, and when it tightens on, it seals. There we go, and that's how you bleed it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.